Welcome back to Got No Control podcast. I am your host, RONEK. Before I introduce my special guest today, I just want to give you guys some announcements. First, Style Paint Jam Las Vegas is coming to Las Vegas inside Area 15, Saturday, September 6th. So make sure you grab your tickets. The link is here below. Can't wait to meet you guys. Live painting, live artist talk by Keo X-Men, sticker trading, black book sessions, rap performances. So don't miss out. It's going to be a dope event. I also want to invite you guys to head over to gotnocontrol.com and check out our official merchandise. Grab yourself a t-shirt, a hoodie, and much more. This allows us to be a little bit more financially free to be able to continue to do what we do, bring in more podcast episodes, travel around, and get this dope content for you guys. And with that being said, I'm super excited for my guest today. He's among one of the very first guys that were out there in LA painting. Last 69. How you doing today, brother?
Oh man, thanks for the intro. I'm doing really well. Thank you, buddy, and thanks for having me. And yeah, it's cool.
Definitely, brother. It's a pleasure to have you here today. It's been a while since I sat down in my studio. I'm always up and around.
I've noticed, man. You're covering a lot of territory. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's finally. It feels good to finally be home. And
I can't even keep track, man. You're everywhere. I'm like, is this guy cloned or what?
I'm really happy for this episode. You know, you're full of history. You were there from the beginning. So I wanted to dive into this.
Sure.
Starting by just getting to let people know who Blast 69 is. How was it growing for you at home, and what is home to you as far as in where did you grow up at?
I grew up in the White House back in the mid '70s, and I had a good upbringing. I had good solid parents. They were always there for us. My neighborhood wasn't that bad, especially in the '70s. The top part of the White House was another family.
Okay.
And they were hippies. It was like 4 or 5 brothers and sisters, and they were always barefoot and the long hair, and was that the bell bottoms, and I remember that. And then we only had, it was just the house was the only house in the entire block, and then there was a small apartment building that my dad managed next door. And it was pretty mixed. It was pretty diverse. We had a lot of Jewish neighbors. We had a German lady that lived in the back. And so it was nice. And my dad had a good job back then. He was a border patrol. He got let go because we never really talked about it. But I think somebody told me that somebody snitched on him because he was always letting people go. He's Hispanic, and he was doing that job back in the 60s and early 70s when there was a lot of racism.
Okay.
And he said it was bad, and he just didn't like it. And So he stopped working there, but I remember him showing up with the patrol car, and I would sit in there and hit the siren. It was cool, because I used to watch One Adam 12.
Yeah.
And it was. And so, anyways, and then in the early 80s, like 80, 81, 82,
yeah,
I guess Reagan allowed, because of the war going on in El Salvador, he allowed a lot of people to come into the country, which was, they were at war, so these people needed help. They were running from all the chaos that was going on over there. So what happened was, I met all the guys that later became La Mara Salvatrucha.
Okay.
So they were in my neighborhood, man. They were bullies, man, and but they were still not called Mara Salvatrucha. Some guy named Kalin. Forgot. They all had funny names.
I wanted to dive a little bit into, not to cut you
Sure.
off, dive a little bit more into your upbringing, right?
Sure.
So you mentioned you had a father that was a border patrol.
Yeah.
Did you also have a mother and siblings?
Oh, yeah. Well, Yeah, my brother's an artist as well. He's really good. He goes by Emre, and he does oil paintings.
Okay.
He's amazing. I'm not exaggerating. Like, he's really, really good, and I really enjoy watching some of his work. And he has exhibits once in a while, and
Okay.
yeah, he plays the guitar really well too. Like, amazing.
Awesome.
Like, I'm not exaggerating. Like, yeah. I've seen pros like the guy from Caifanes, the guitar player.
Yeah.
He came up to my brother and told him, "Man, you can really play." Like, so when you get respect from guys like that at that level, you're doing something right.
Definitely.
Yeah. So yeah. So, and then my other brother, he was always into theater, Eddie, and he's an amazing landscaper, and he's an amazing cook.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So, and then I have my son. He's a wrestler.
Okay.
He's a professional wrestler, and so right now he's getting the ball rolling. He already had maybe like 6 matches.
Awesome.
So
Congratulations.
yeah, he goes by the name of Marco Montana.
Montana.
So he plays this Miami, flamboyant Miami kind of hustler.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
So would it be fair to say that you come from, you could say, like a modern family, a father, a mother?
yes, you could
A
say
home.
that, even though, okay, so the reason I brought up the early 80s Amara is the reason I was getting into that was because the neighborhood dynamics changed after that.
Oh, okay.
Yes. After that, everybody moved out. Like, all my neighbors moved out, and it just became a whole different scene. And then a lot of clubs started forming. Like Rockwood. Back then it was Temple Street, Diamond Street, but later on came in like the mid '80s. You had like clubs that wanted to be like Rockwood, because Rockwood was, kind of like the standard. And a lot of amazing people came out of Rockwood. I mean, it was like the all-star team when it came to like football, graffiti, breakdancing. We did a little bit of everything. Microbuses.
When you say clubs, what do you mean by clubs?
Clubs were like just a group of guys that would play other neighborhoods football on the weekends, on Sundays.
Oh, so it was like-
we would play. We played the Headhunters, the Rascals. The Rascals was actually Rockwood actually created the three. Rick one,
Yeah.
Crime, Shadow, him, Ruben, and Dave. They the ones that started the Rascals. And then just to play football, and then the Rascals became its own thing.
So just to get a better,
Then they became our rivals.
so just to get a better understanding,
Yeah.
as a child,
Yeah.
you guys would have kind of like neighborhood crews that became clubs that then would later
became
play
gangs.
But before they became gangs, you guys would play football against each other.
Exactly, we played football.
So,
a lot of football.
So it kind of be like this neighborhood versus that neighborhood this Sunday.
Exactly.
Then the next Sunday,
Yes,
okay.
it was like that. It was pretty cool. It was a cool era.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of bullying back then. You got to have alligator skin to grow up in a neighborhood
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. I mean, there was, yeah, it was pretty rough, man. Thank God, me and my brother and I got along with everybody. I mean, my brother was just so charismatic, and everybody just loved being around him. That he got caught slipping like maybe 4 or 5 times, where
Yeah.
other neighborhoods got him. They had him cornered, red-handed. And there was always that one person from that club that liked him and said, you know what, let's give this guy a pass. So, that guy dodged a lot. So he was pretty lucky, and, because he's just a really
Gotcha.
kind of guy that, he's very likable, man.
For anybody out there younger in
Yeah.
2025 that was watching this episode
Yeah.
and would just never understand the lifestyle that you guys lived in the early 80s with
Yeah.
the clubs, the gangs, etc. Can you give me a brief description of what it really felt to be out there in the 80s and dealing with these type of situations?
Yeah, well, I mean, there was when things got, some things that, it was everything happened like far in between.
Okay.
You know, things would get hot for a while, then things would cool down. When things got hot, man, in the morning when you went to school, you got to look over your shoulder. When you got out of school, it was even worse. And then there was times where it wasn't so bad, but you could never let your guard down.
Okay. What will cause these type of situations? Or like, why would you have to keep your guard up? Why were you bumping into other people?
It's just
They say kind of like gang life. Is that what it was?
It started becoming that.
Okay.
What happened is you let one cholito, one guy into the neighborhood, into the club. He gets his friend in. Next thing you know, you're starting to see more thugs in our circle. Then they start like gang banging. They start doing stuff.
Okay.
And now they're coming after us.
Gotcha.
So, and I lived on the border. I lived right on the border. Four gangs and 4 clubs. I was right on the border.
Oh, so it was so tough.
Yeah, across the street I had Temple Street, Big Top Locals, the Rascals, the Headhunters.
Yeah.
Diamond Street, and then on my left, the neighborhood started getting really bad after 3rd Street. So Beverly was still decent area.
Yeah.
Because it was by the Filipino town community. But as soon as you got past 3rd Street, oh man, it was a war zone. And then so on that side we had 18th Street, La Mara Salvatrucha, yeah, the Mara Salvatrucha, when they first started coming up, before they were La Mara Salvatrucha, I used to have to go to my friend's house. I had to go through them. And I was a kid, and I remember they got me and my brother, and we were on the roof because we used to like climbing. We wanted to climb every roof in the area.
Gotcha.
That was like our goal.
Yeah.
And they were up there. And man, dude, they got us by our ankles, and they took us to the edge like that, and they were dangling us off the edge.
And was these older men doing this to you guys?
No, these guys were at the time, they were like maybe 18, 19, 20.
And you guys were younger.
And we were like, man, at the time, we were super young then. We were like, I don't know. Back then, we were like, I don't know, 10 maybe.
How do you
11.
cope? How do you cope with such an emotion, right?
It's crazy. And I mean, I thought, is this guy going to drop me accidentally? I mean, it was just pretty traumatizing. But I got even with those guys. I always got even with everybody, man. I never got the short end of the stick. So what I did was I waited a few weeks, and I got a shoebox. And we had somebody take a crap in the shoebox.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a big shit, man. Just shit in there, dude. Make it nasty.
Gotcha.
Then I covered it up, and I gift wrapped it. And I made it look like a nice gift. So I know these guys are going to punk me for it. So I was walking in the same route, and they're like, hey, get over here. And I was like, no, I got to go. No, get over here. And I was like, okay. So I went up to them. What do you got in the box? What is that? I go, oh, that's just a gift. No, dude, give it to us. I was like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, or you're going to get it, We're going to teach you a lesson. I go, no, here, you guys can have it then. I don't want any problems. So I took off, dude. Man, when I got around the corner, dude, I can hear them. Yeah, I don't want to cuss, but
yeah,
it got pretty vulgar. It got pretty vulgar. I go, oh, man, these guys, I'm going to have to lay low for a while. So I laid low for a while, and then it just blew over.
But, being a youngster, right? Being a youngster at this young age of 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
How do you cope with such a situation? Like, how do you tell yourself, like, okay, today I might have to fight.
Oh, it's
today
because that's a good question. Elementary, I used to get into a lot of fights in the bathroom everywhere, man. I mean, it was a lot of fights. So I already was used to it. And then my mom used to take us to visit my grandmother over in Ensenada, TJ, and back in the 70s and the 80s. So every time we went over there for the weekend or for like a little vacation, man, it was beyond cutthroat over there. As soon as we got there, It was a rock fight. This neighborhood against that neighborhood.
Okay, okay.
And we didn't stop the rock fight until like somebody was bleeding, like somebody, had a gash on their head or something.
Gotcha.
Then we would stop the game. But man, it always ended bloody, and it was a war zone. So man, we were used to that. I mean, my brother and I, we were used to that. Then the older kids would make a circle, and they would. I was just some kid that came to visit. I was always a victim. So they got me, and they would get another kid kind of more or less your size, and they would just push you in the middle, fight, and you had no choice. So you would just start fighting. And I got good at it because I did it so much. It was like every summer. So, yeah. So I started young. I developed a pretty good right hook. I got into at high school. I mean, all my life, I was, one time I was laying down. I was like, how many fights did I get myself into? So I started counting each fight. I'm not even going to bring up the elementary ones. But I would say about 24 that I could remember. And I never lost. I never one-on-one, I never had somebody just kick my ass.
And
Thank God. And a lot of it was luck.
I can only imagine, too, having a father that's a patrol officer, how strict he was on you, too.
He was a little strict.
When it came to, like, getting caught over a fight. Or
My parents didn't tolerate gangs. They were strict, but not really.
Gotcha.
Not really.
So let me ask you this, brother. So is it fair to say that you were out in Los Angeles before the hip-hop culture itself hit the city?
Yes. Well, yes.
Okay.
I remember when hip-hop started, breakdancing, and it was pretty cool. Run DMC was a big thing. LL Cool J, and movie Breaking came out and all that. So we were. It was a thing. We were breakdancers for a while.
Okay.
And and then we.
Where did the influence come from breakdance? Sorry, the influence from breakdance, was it from watching these movies and hearing this music?
Hearing the music, watching the Run DMC videos when they would come out with the Adidas and the Kangol, and I thought it was a good look. It was pretty cool, even though I wasn't really big on the whole hip hop attire. I did it only when I was gonna go breakdance, and we would take our cardboard.
Yeah.
But normally, my brother and I, we never really got into dressing like that. We were always into. It's weird because most kids our age were into comic books.
Okay.
Me and my brother and I don't know, for some reason we always loved fashion. So, we used to go to the farmer's market in La Cienega. We'd take the bus and we would ditch and take the bus over there just to steal GQ magazines.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like our thing.
To be able to see what's fashionable at the moment.
Exactly. And we collected. I just had thousands of those magazines, and I just loved them. And I thought, I
want to dive a little bit into before exploring the idea of using the attire of what you believe was hip hop at the moment through movies and magazines.
Yeah.
What did your attire currently look like before hip hop culture hit in your lifestyle?
Well, it was a basic. Well, by then, before that was in junior high.
Okay.
I was in junior high when that hit. So, stoners was a big thing. So my brother would hang out with Mid-City Stoners, and then when they were pretty cool, they ended up turning into a huge gang too.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but they were in the early 80s, man. They were cool. And so everybody had like Ozzy shirts, Def Leppard, Iron Maiden was a big thing back then. So Vans, everybody wore Vans.
Also, Vans was popular back then.
Vans was the thing, man. Vans, the checkered ones, especially the checkered ones, that was a big deal. And so that was pretty much the attire. And then you had either that or you were like a cholito with the white T-shirt, the Stacey Adams, the Pendletons, the Dickies. That was a look too.
So the Chicano, what we know as the Chicano look.
Yes, correct.
How was the transition though, bro? Because everybody in your neighborhood knows you for being like this one guy, and then now you're coming out like hip hop with the jumpsuits and the cardboard.
I know.
How was that transition?
It's it just you just did it. I mean, you just I mean, it was like we weren't like b-boys 24/7.
Okay.
It was just like, hey, we're gonna go battle some guys, or we're gonna go, so we would dress the part. But yeah, I wasn't really into, like, that wasn't my everyday
Oh,
attire.
okay, gotcha.
We had one guy that did dress like that every day, but he looked cool, man, and he had a lot of money. Some Colombian kid. They fled from Colombia because Pablo Escobar wanted them killed.
Okay.
So they got some kind of asylum, but they came here and just, these were some shady people, man. And we met him, and he lived in my neighborhood, and we became like buddies. And we would he would rent limos, and we would go to junior high in the morning. My teachers were always asking me, how come you're coming to school in a limo? What are you up to? Well, man, I always had a different excuse. I don't know. It wasn't every day, but it was pretty frequently. And yeah, he would rent sometimes a white limo.
Yeah.
We even had one guy that had a limo that became our regular driver. He would take us to downtown. We would go to the pawn shop, and he would take out a pocket. What was that? He would take a pocket. He would take full of money. I mean, jewelry, sorry.
Yeah.
A handful of jewelry, put it on the counter. I mean, a lot of jewelry. And, man, they would give him, they're always going to give you a little bit.
Yeah.
But he got a lot because he had a lot of jewelry. But I'm pretty sure it was worth a lot more. And he didn't care. He would take it from his family, and he says his family had a lot. And I was like, but that's not cool, man, But he did it anyways. And
this was a good friend of yours at the moment.
yeah, his name was Silver. He's the guy. He was the second person to start tagging everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was Mr. 151 first.
Before I jump into that, brother,
RSL.
I got one more question for you. So you mentioned clubs and gangs and stuff like that, right? To your knowledge, how did they take the entry of hip hop hitting the streets? Because they come from a different era where hip hop wasn't there.
Yeah.
How was that? Were you guys kind of looking at it like? Were they kind of looking at you guys like, "Hey, I better not catch you doing that" type thing, or was it kind of like, "Hey, that's cool, keep doing it"?
No, it was that's cool.
Okay.
People, because anything that can divert you from the gang activity, and something that looks a little more constructive, like breakdancing and popping was like popular first.
Yeah.
And then the breakdancing kind of came along, but the pop locking and the popping was pretty popular, and then the breaking was just, it was, when breaking came, it just got a lot better.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of people that are younger generation now, like the younger generation now, they just don't seem to understand how important breakdancing and pop locking was to developing what we know today as graffiti.
A lot of it had to do with the music.
Okay.
The music is what, if you hear it on the radio all day and it's really cool, and now there's some dancing that can go along with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the perfect recipe.
For someone like me that's a lot younger than you, it's just kind of like crazy to think that at one point that's what you were listening at the radio, because you listen to what's being played on the radio now, and it's nothing like the Run DMC or all that good stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We had mixed cassettes. We had this one guy that came from New York. His name is, we used to, Ricardo, but he went by the name Kilroy.
Okay.
And he was the first guy to show us a mixtape, and we were blown away.
Why was a mixtape so monumental, though? What about a mixtape?
It was a big deal. It was a big deal if somebody had a mixtape. I don't know. I mean, because on the radio, they always played the same thing. Mixtape, you got the best, styles, put them all in one tape. You did some turntable scratching on it, and you just made it your own. It was just cool. It was just a cool thing.
I got a question for you, brother. As an Angelino, right? Being from Los Angeles.
Yeah, Angelino.
How was it, kind of like, how can you say, taking something that wasn't built here in the city, but kind of making it yours in a way, which was hip hop.
I know. The thing about Los Angeles is everything happens here first. Okay?
Yeah.
For some reason. Everybody knows that. We're always number one. So New York came up with that stuff first. But LA doesn't like to mimic anybody.
Correct, yeah.
We're LA, man. So what we did was we got that and we integrated cholo writing and calligraphy and there's a certain slant that Rockwood started using with their writing that no one else was doing, like the way they do the R's and the O's and the A's, like very round but with sharp edges. New York wasn't really doing that.
Gotcha.
So we created our own identity, and then after LA, it went global. So once it hit LA,
yeah,
graffiti just expanded everywhere. But it hit LA. That's why, and we're the ones that we made it our own, man. I personally like the LA style way better. I mean, but don't get me wrong. I respect the roots always, because without New York, we wouldn't have it. And they're the blueprint. And you got to tip your hat off to New York, for bringing that this genre into our lives.
In your personal opinion, what defines West Coast hip hop from East Coast hip hop? Because you mentioned that what defines them in graffiti themselves, but what defines them when it comes to hip hop itself, like music?
Wow.
Was it already something here when it came to music?
I don't know. I think our talent level is just a little notch up, man.
Okay.
I don't want to sound arrogant.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to put anybody else down, but New York doesn't have anybody better than Dr. Dre.
Okay.
Snoop. I mean,
you wouldn't put Rakim up there?
He's the closest. I'll tell you, it's a pretty good horse race, but I think we come up on top.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I want to dive into, brother, how
the Chronic. I don't think nobody can top that album.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That was a good album.
All the stuff NWA did. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Right? Let's just.
Those are both good albums, eh?
Yeah.
I want to dive into, brother, graffiti itself. Mm-hmm. How did it stumble across your path? What was your very first sighting of graffiti?
Rick One.
Shout out Rick, man. Amazing brother.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, he, Rick One and then Shandu. Those guys were the first two guys to bring it. I mean, and, they're the first guys to hit the Belmont Tunnel. I went down there, now you look back and it's like, oh my God, dude, what the hell is that? But at the time, you were like, wow, they did that with spray cans. And the B-Boy, they did a Risco, rest in peace. They did a Shandu with the chains.
Yeah.
I was like blown away. And then me and Presto, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, man, missed that guy. Me and him were like, wow, we gotta get on it ASAP. We got some spray cans. We went racking. Showed up to the tunnel. We picked the biggest wall. We did some girl that passed away. Unfortunately, she gave us some money to do her name, so we did her name, and I totally forgot about that until I came across Skill One. He reminded me about that. So we looked into it, and I was like, "Wow, how did I?" And then I saw, it was cool.
To take a quick rewind.
So we did the first big wall at the tunnel, and then after that, So yeah, we were like the first ones at the Belmont Tunnel, and then after that, man, it was people were there every weekend. All these crews started popping up.
Taking a quick rewind, brother.
Mhm.
So you visit the Belmont Tunnel just because that was where you grew up at, right? That area.
I probably would have gone anyways,
Okay, so you go to the
but yeah, I just happened to live maybe half a mile from there.
so you go to the Belmont Tunnel with a friend, and then you witness other guys riding, which you didn't know what it was, but it looked dope.
No, I knew what it was.
Okay, you knew it was graffiti.
Yeah, because Rick one he showed me some stuff on some paper first.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
I was like, that's dope.
Yeah.
And then Presto, he was like, wow, he was really into the whole hip hop thing more than me.
And all these were childhood friends to you?
Yes.
Okay. So childhood friends get into this,
Yeah.
they bring it to your attention. Like,
Yes.
look, this is what we're doing.
Yes.
And then you kind of just start going over, like, hey, I want to see what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then once you see it, you're like, whoa, I got to start doing
We got to
this.
get on it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that got the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it's been interesting ever since. Then for a long period, I kind of, started working. I've been working at Brinks forever. That's the armored car industry. I've been there going on almost 30 years, believe it or not.
Oh, wow, that's a good time.
Yeah. So, yeah, and man, I've seen some stuff happen there too. Pretty crazy.
At what point do you tell yourself, like, okay, I like this,
Mm-hmm.
but at what point do you tell yourself, I want to, like, get a name, start developing a style,
Yeah.
and go from just hitting a wall one time to trying to be the best I possibly could be?
Okay. So Presto, I'm gonna tell you, one of the reasons I love that guy is because when I started, like, I sucked, like, really bad.
As we all do.
Yeah,
We all do.
We're all toy at
We're all
it.
horrible when
But
the,
I
at
mean,
the first
like,
spray.
but that guy was good right off the bat. That guy, because he always drew since we were like super little.
Yeah.
He was always drawing. That was like his thing. So when graffiti came, that was like, wow, this is for me. So I would draw something, show it to him because I was scared to show it to anybody else because he was my best friend at the time. And he would always say, hey, man, your colors look good. He goes, you looks pretty good. You're coming along. And I was like, wow, really? And he's like, yeah. And I believed it. But he was just saying that because he didn't want me to get discouraged. Because I'm the kind of guy, I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty good at whatever I set my mind to. And if I can't get it
Yeah.
right away, I get discouraged and I move on to something else.
Gotcha.
I don't know why. That's just the way I'm hardwired.
For me,
So I gotta be good right off the bat. Like, okay, I'm pretty good at this. I think I could do this. I just need more practice. But if I like just suck at something right off the bat and maybe try it one more time and I suck, I won't like pursue it. I'll
Gotcha.
just like, time's too valuable, dude.
Yeah.
It's just time's too valuable.
For me,
Time's more precious than money, buddy.
For me, I just love it when people tell me
because
you
once
can't.
you lose it, you could never get it back.
When people tell me you can't do it, I can't do it. That's what fuels me. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I can't do it. I'll be right back.
Okay. So I think, in hindsight, if he would have told me, dude, like, it's bad, it sucks, you need
Yeah.
a lot of practice, I would have practiced a little more. Dude, nah, this isn't good, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. This isn't good. I probably would have said, you know what? This isn't my forte. This I don't think this is for me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do something else. But he kept telling me it was good. I kept at it, and sure enough, man, it worked out.
Tell me a little bit about him. So he's one of your childhood best friends.
Yeah.
He's into art.
Yeah,
He's among.
he's came from a very strict Korean family.
Okay.
And he lived a little bit past Third, so he lived in a bad neighborhood. And lived in a small apartment. Believe it was a second or third floor. And his brother, man, he was amazing. He was very different, very smart. I never that guy went to college. He went to Cal State Irvine, and he also went to USC. He studied law.
The brother.
The brother became a lawyer.
Okay.
But I've never seen this guy study or do homework. That's what used to amaze me. Like, I know a lot of people that are scholars.
Yeah.
But I saw them put in the work. This guy, he would stay at my house till midnight, like all the time. Late, we would hang out. And took off to school the next day. And I was like, it was all the time. And I never saw this guy, hey, I got to study, man. I'll see you later. Like,
yeah.
I got an exam. Never, man. So it's just mind-boggling how this guy just got through school so easily.
And his brother was the whole opposite?
And Jimmy was, he was the whole opposite, man. He was always ditching. He was always getting into trouble and stuff. But he was smart, too. He was smart in his own way.
And he was among you guys, some of the very first writer.
Oh, yeah. Presto. Oh, yeah. He was, like I said, he was probably the third person to do the Belmont Tunnel, me and him.
Because you guys got to touch it when it was just like bare wall.
It was nothing there. It was bare wall. No tagging. It was all bare wall.
Did you ever believe it was going to become what it became?
No. It was just amazing how it took off. Yeah, it's amazing. A lot of popular writers were coming down to I stopped going to the Belmont Tunnel because guys from Rockwood were getting attacked by the headhunters.
Oh.
We were getting ambushed.
Gotcha.
And I was, dude, I'm not going to lose my life, man.
Also, the neighborhoods would be right there kind of like controlling the entrance?
Yes, it was too close to the headhunters and Diamond Street.
Oh. So they'll kind of see you going in and be like, hey, there goes that one guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long
I didn't want to get caught slipping. So I was like, I already made my mark here. I'm going to go to East LA. So I told Presto, hey, let's go to East LA. There's nothing going on over there. And we people know us already. Let's go over there and start a crew. We started Double Vision crew.
Double Vision.
And then we went to East LA, and man, it became a big thing over there.
How long did you guys have the Belmont Tunnel before it gained its publicity to where everybody wanted to come? Would you say like a year or two?
No, I would say within 6 months.
That's all it took, 6 months?
6 months. I started seeing a lot of pieces started coming up. Maybe a year.
What is one of your most monumental stories at the Belmont Tunnel that you can share with me today?
At the Belmont Tunnel?
Yeah. Something that kind of like you still remember to today. Maybe meeting somebody or watching something.
Man, I didn't really spend a lot of time there. I remember one time me and my friends decided to go into the tunnel itself.
Yeah.
Where the train used to go through. So because we heard stories of guys making it all the way to the end. They touched the wall. Like it's a dead end.
Oh, it's a dead end, like it's a big wall.
End,
okay.
Yeah. So I'm not talking about the outside of the tunnel now. I'm talking about the actual tunnel.
Yeah.
They had a fence with a padlock on it, but there was like a hole where you can crawl in.
That's where the train will go through.
The train will go through. So it was dark. But there's a little bit of light at the beginning. So, man, it was like six of us.
Yeah.
So we got way more than halfway. And it started getting really dark. And it was getting harder to breathe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Then we heard a noise. Something. You know how it is. Somebody said, oh, shit. Or I think there were water drops or something from the side of the walls. We turned around and we felt like we were being followed. Don't ask me why. Yeah, we went into a total panic.
Yeah.
And, man, so we started running and there's holes and mud. There's mud and there's mud puddles everywhere. I tripped and I landed in the biggest mud puddle, man.
Oh.
I was drenched and it stinked. Imagine dirty ass mud water. And man, dude, everybody let me have it. It was, yeah, that was the only thing I could remember.
Here comes muddy water.
Oh man. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was a bad experience.
Yeah, I mean, those times were way before my time, man. So I didn't get to visit those times, but it's good to hear the stories of what was here before me, You mentioned that Shandu, Rick, and Presto were among some of your very first influences.
Yeah.
Did you have any other influences aside of them?
Yes, I did. I mean, there was a lot of, like I said, man, there's a lot of talent that came out of that area. You had Skept, you had Deffer. That guy's amazing, man. The stuff he's doing now is pretty good. I ran into him at the K2S 40th anniversary.
Shout out to K2S, by the way.
I said hello to him, and that was cool. Running into an old OG, and talked to Rick for a few minutes, and I had to go because, man, they were having a rave down the street. There was absolutely no parking.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
And the small parking lots they were charging like $50-$60 for parking. I was like, man, not
today.
Not today, man.
Did Subway art or anything of that nature play a part in your influence?
Yes, I actually came out on Subway Art, the second book.
Okay.
I was on there. Me and Presto were featured on there. I was also on History of LA Graffiti.
Oh, Los Angeles Graffiti History.
I was on there too. So yeah, it was, it's pretty cool.
How does that make you feel, knowing that your work touched so many people that you made it into books?
It's, you know what? It's funny because many years went by, and I really thought I wasn't relevant anymore. I mean, and then people, out of nowhere, maybe in the last year or two, man, people started reaching out to me. I guess Instagram.
Yeah, once you post something, they'll find you.
Yeah, so I mean, because I was never into the whole Facebook, Instagram thing.
Yeah.
I barely got on it like recently.
Gotcha.
And I like it. It's pretty cool. And I mean, so yeah, things picked up from there, and
now we're here,
which is cool. Now we're here. Yeah.
Double Vision Crew. So you and Presto branch out to, you say, East LA?
Yeah.
You start Double Vision Crew?
Mm-hmm.
Do that for about, a year or two or something?
Yeah, my cousin Scandal, rest in peace. Oh, man.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, Scandal, he introduced me to all the guys from East LA. And, Zinc, it was Deco, Charday, K9.
Okay.
All those guys. Shout out to all those guys. And Scandal, he was a first cousin, and man, the way he died was pretty crazy. Some guy offered to give him a ride home because he needed a ride home.
Yeah.
But the guy said, "Hey, why don't we stop by at my place really quick and just have a drink?" I got like a garage, like a little setup, and he said. And he said, well, he's giving me a ride. Why not? Yeah. So he went with him. And but I don't know if he wanted him to go with him because he knew something was going to happen, and he wanted to feel like I got somebody with me, so I feel safe, because I think he was beefing it with his brother.
Okay.
Sure enough, man, the guy's stepbrother, I don't know if it was a half-brother or stepbrother, but he showed up. And that a girl was there, and I guess they were both fighting over the same girl
because they wanted the girl.
Yeah. So the brother shows up. So Scandal is with this guy and this girl, and they're having a drink. This guy shows up, and he shot his brother.
Oh, wow.
He killed him right there. And guess what? Since Scandal was standing there minding his own business, he was just getting a ride, freaking blew him away.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and I thought, well, you would think he would shoot the girl and not leave a witness, but he couldn't get himself to shoot the girl, and he just ran off.
So he could shoot his own brother, but he can't shoot the girl.
Right? I don't know. It
That's
was just
crazy.
The whole thing's bizarre, man, and yeah.
And we're talking in an era where there's no cameras, there's no cell phones, so it was a lot.
Yeah.
easier to get away than what it is today.
Yeah, but man, it's just insane. Yeah.
It really is. May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
Scandal.
Scandal, man. My cousin Roger, his name was Roger. He lived a few blocks from Roosevelt High School.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing you guys are with Double Vision Crew, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's next for you after that?
So after that, just running stuff at the White House with my brother.
Okay.
You know, Edward, Eddie. He's an amazing. He's just an amazing guy. People are just drawn to him. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's just, I mean, the guy always had a lot of girlfriends. He had a lot of, all the guys always wanted to hang out with him.
So it's kind of more like going back to the White House and hanging out type thing?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And so we always, it's funny because, sometimes the guys would go with me. Sometimes they would go with him. We shared our friends.
Gotcha.
It was just, we were all together.
But you were still painting at the moment when you went back to the White House to
Yes,
okay.
yes. But I was doing a lot of stuff if somebody asked me, hey, can you do this? Or a lot of doodling, nothing serious.
Okay.
Nothing serious.
I just got off of a podcast episode yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And I had this guy that was telling me a lot about how tag banging really, really affected his upbringing in the culture.
Yeah, that came around, I would say in the, that came around in the early 90s, I believe.
Yeah.
The tag banging, it was ridiculous, man. It was ridiculous. I mean, you're either going to be, if you want to tag bang, just join a gang.
Okay.
Don't give us a bad look. One thing I hate is, I go on Instagram. Sometimes I got to get off of it because of all the nonsense these young guys put up there. These dudes with tattoos on their faces and, they have no morals or ethics. They're, no structure.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like a random. They just do random crazy shit, and we never operated that way. We always planned ahead. We always we respected certain areas. There are certain unwritten codes that writers had.
I agree.
Yeah. I never wrote on somebody's house or carved my name on somebody's furniture or on somebody's window. I mean,
when those Fox 11 segments came out,
yeah.
How did you feel about that when they're kind of making it seem like
I wanted to, they were interviewing these guys and they're acting all crazy, showing guns and honestly, man, it was disappointing. Yeah, I was like, I hope this phases out. I go, because if this gets worse, I don't want nothing to do with graffiti.
Yeah.
I didn't want nothing to do with that. It just was turning into a bad element.
Did you ever have an encounter with one of them? Like where one of them kind of tried to...
Never, man, never. Yeah, I never did. I always had an entourage all my life.
Yeah.
I always had I always rolled 5, 6, 7 people deep, sometimes even 10, sometimes carloads. Because, I mean, I had 4 or 5 clubs, a couple of gangs after us. So, I mean, I didn't like being by myself.
But this wasn't over graffiti, right?
Huh?
This is over graffiti.
No, this isn't over
other stuff.
This is other stuff.
Okay,
this is just wrong neighborhood, Rockwood. Rockwood had a lot of beef with a lot of people.
Gotcha.
And I didn't create the beef. Rockwood it's one of those where you can't beat them, join them. They're like the original jackass. I mean, these guys were going around. They were going around in microbuses, hitting people with fire extinguishers. They didn't care if you were a girl.
Yeah,
they'd slide the door open and shoot you with the big fire extinguishers with the high pressure. You would see people go flying. It was funny at times, and sometimes it wasn't funny because a lot of I don't know, man. It was pretty crazy. It was a crazy time. I mean, eggs. People were getting bombarded with eggs. That was probably the only thing I did was throw eggs. But other than that, I didn't get too crazy. But some of these guys are getting really crazy.
For anybody out there that never heard of Rockwood, where is Rockwood at in LA? What streets is like considered Rockwood?
Would be like, Rockwood it's a street right close to Beverly, down the street from Belmont High School.
Okay.
And then it ran all the way to like 6th Street.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from there on, all the way to 6th Street, before downtown, before you start getting over the 110 freeway, and then the furthest we went, maybe Vermont is probably the furthest we went out that way. And then we also had another chapter, Rockwood, Westmoreland, and they were by Virgil Junior High.
Okay.
It was I never really met those guys. I don't really know those guys.
But that was like another chapter.
That was another Rockwood, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Did you take part in bus mobbing? Like, were you riding train lines and you riding the buses?
The way I did it, it was more settled. You know,
Okay.
These guys would get together and rush the bus. I never did it like that. Maybe once or twice, maybe. But the way I did it, because we used to like going to the beach a lot. Me and Presto and Silver.
Gotcha.
So we'd go to the beach a lot. So we would hit the buses on the way to the beach, on the way back. Usually inside the bus, and then we would come out, and then maybe one more on the way out.
Do you remember what line that was?
Yes, I believe it may have been the 16 on 3rd Street.
Gotcha.
I'm guessing, but I think so. And then the one I hit a lot was because I used to take it to go to school and to go, because I used to like going to the Beverly Center a lot. So I used to take the 14.
Okay.
That one had my a lot of Blast 69 tags on that.
You know, coming from an era, bro, where you guys have these clubs that play football against each other, and then it kind of becomes into a gang. So you kind of carry that mentality with you, or kind of like, you don't take no crap, leave me alone type thing.
You know,
How was that?
A lot of guys are like that. A lot of guys are like that. But you can't be like that, man. You know, there's nothing you can't fix with a simple conversation.
The reason I bring that up is having that background, right? Like, maybe not you, but just coming from that background of how things are ran.
Yeah, punch first, ask questions later.
Yeah. How is it like now you're traveling city to city, getting up, and you're meeting other guys that you don't know, and it's kind of like, hey, I seen you up.
A lot of times, a lot of time has gone by that people really don't. People are not, they don't like. They're not dwelling on the past anymore. Like, that's water under the bridge. You know, it's behind us. We were kids. I run into a lot of guys I beefed it with, and usually we either ignore each other, kind of just what's up.
I guess I mean it more in a sense of like being younger, like a younger version of yourself when you were like out and about, city to city with your friends, getting up, and then you're running into random people that you don't know. Like, hey, I ride too.
Oh yeah, man. People hit me up and they're like, "Hey man, can you sign my peace book or my black book or can I get a Blast 69? Can I get a sticker?" Everybody carries stickers now.
Okay,
so I'm always handing out stickers.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Where does the name Blast 69 come from?
Presto, when we were gonna start our crew, we were like, we gotta have a cool name. So he had Presto already, and he goes, hey, he's like, hey, I got a list of names. It was like maybe 10 names on a list.
Yeah.
I think it was like the 4th or 5th name was like Blast. And I was like, I don't know why. There's no particular reason.
Yeah.
It just I just thought it sounded kind of cool. Go ahead, Blast. This one sounds pretty. Blast sounds cool. But I thought like it didn't really. I wanted to have more of a nice ring, like something was missing.
Gotcha.
So and everyone was writing one at the time. Like GO1, Sign 1, Rick
Like
1.
O-N-E or just the one?
O-N-E.
Okay.
That was like the thing. Everybody was doing the one.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah, I'm not going to. So I started thinking, what's cool? So I thought 69. So, yeah. So I was born in '69.
And that's the birth of Blast 69.
Yeah. And, and then when I was in high school and I was getting older, girls would go, oh, 69. And I was like, oh, okay. But, that wasn't the reason.
Yeah.
But it didn't hurt.
Yeah, gotcha.
It didn't hurt.
It could be whatever you want.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Brother,
Yeah.
you mentioned, how New York kind of like developed the hip hop graffiti that we know today, and then LA kind of put its twist in there, right?
Yeah, well, you had New York, and then you had all the East Coast. You had Jersey.
Yeah.
You had Boston.
At any point, do you meet any New York writer out here in LA?
Never.
No?
No.
Do you get to travel out there to paint at any time?
No. Silver left to New York.
Yes.
Because things got hot with his family.
Okay.
They were trying to kill them. I'm telling you, they were involved in some stuff. And we ran into one of his Colombian cousins.
Okay.
Me and my brother and I. And he told us, we asked about him, hey, what happened to Elkin Silver? Man, I'm telling you, this guy's a legend. I mean, this guy was amazing. And he had the saddest look on his face. He was like, man, you're not going to believe what happened. I was like, what happened? He goes, dude, they were living in an apartment in New York. And he said some guy showed up with an AK-47 and just shot the entire family.
Oh, wow.
And there was a little kid with Goldilocks hair. Like, it was too cute. Little blonde kid with gold curly hair, and he was too cute, man. And they shot everybody.
How old was Silver at the moment when he passed?
He must have been about, man, I don't even know, maybe 20.
Oh, wow, he was young.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, brother, that gets asked to me all the time, and I like to ask it because I feel like having everybody's perspective is important.
Yeah.
So to the general population that's not part of this culture, doesn't understand it, never done it, so I always kind of look at it like, why would you do that? What makes you want to go out there and do that? What's the point of it?
Yeah, which is what?
Graffiti.
Yeah, when people are disgusted by it, or they don't, it's because one, they don't really know, but I can't blame them because personally, my pet peeve is litter.
Okay.
Ever since I was little, I can't stand litter. I mean, when I walk my dog, I carry one of those sticks.
Yeah.
I pick up trash. Even in my neighborhood's beyond clean. I still do it. Sometimes when I'm picking up my dog shit with the doggy bag and I see somebody didn't pick up their dog shit, I'm like, I'm there. I have a bag. I have extra bags. I might as well do it.
Gotcha.
You can't have this attitude. A lot of people have this attitude. It's not my problem.
Oh,
I didn't do it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like that.
That's, most people are like that.
Yeah, 'cause
you hear that a lot. And somebody drops something, the trash is right there, and they litter right next to it. That drives me nuts.
Gotcha.
I've gotten into it with people. I got into it with some guy at McDonald's. He was eating with this girl.
Yeah.
He opened his door and he threw everything out on the
Oh,
floor.
wow.
Yeah. And it upsets me because most of the time, man, it's like Hispanic.
Yeah.
And, why do we do? It's a bad look.
That I've seen that a lot lately because
It's a bad look. And I don't know if it's a culture thing. I don't know what it is. But it really upsets me, and
yeah, I like to bike ride a lot, and usually when I bike ride, I be seeing a lot of people doing that type of stuff, and I'm just like, whoa.
So I get people that like they see graffiti and they're like, it really upsets them. I get it. I understand it. Sometimes you have to see things from other people's perspectives.
How do you feel about the current state of graffiti? Because you come from an era where you want to be the best you can, like the dopest style, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about the current state of graffiti in 2025?
Well, I'm telling you, it's too good now.
Okay.
I go online, I go online and I've talked to some of the guys that are like amazing,
Yeah.
and they feel the same way. They go online, they go, man, you get discouraged. You feel like sometimes you feel this small, like wow. I mean, you're competing, with the internet. You're competing with the world.
Yeah.
I mean, I see this stuff from Germany, Japan, even Mexico.
Mexico has a strong movement down there.
Strong. It's amazing. And you see some of the stuff in Europe, and you're like, wow.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
You're like, wow. And it's like, yeah. But to me, graffiti's not a sport. I don't look at it like a sport. I hate people that they try to make everything into a sport. Like, it's not. It's art. It's there's beauty where there's ugliness. There's different ways of looking at art. There's different styles. There's rawness. There's like clean, beauty, sharp.
Yeah.
There's round. There's just so much. There's abstract. It's just, you can go on forever. So I don't get into the whole comparison thing. Just be good at what you do and carry yourself properly. I think that's the only way you're gonna earn people's respect.
Gotcha. I agree.
Yeah.
Because
Because I don't care who you are, there's always somebody better.
and anything.
So just stop competing.
The interesting as the best.
Stop competing. Just put your best foot forward every day when you get out of bed, and that's all you can do.
Gotcha, 100%.
And then try to be a better person than you were yesterday.
Got a couple questions here before we get out of here, brother.
Sure.
Graffiti battling was kind of more active, I guess, in the past than what it is today, as far as battles.
Yeah.
Did you take any part in that type of stuff?
No, and I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
Why
Many reasons. Like I said, I don't see art as a I don't know. It's kind of like, it's like if I was to put 6 girls,
Yeah.
right? And they're all beautiful. Okay, well, which one's the prettiest girl? You get 20 guys.
Yeah.
They're all going to give you a different answer.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's how I see graffiti.
Gotcha. Brother, surviving everything you survived, losing all the friends you've lost, and still being here in 2025 healthy, enjoying life. Did you ever sit down and just think about like everything that happened? It feels like it was just a glitch because it just happened and now you're here.
My whole life feels like just like when you think of high school, it almost seems like a short dream.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the way. Yeah. It's amazing. And the older you get, the faster time goes, and the more valuable time becomes. And it's just crazy. I mean, I've cheated death so many times. I've fallen off a motorcycle. I fell off a Jeep. Fell off a horse in the woods.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And the horse abandoned me in the middle of the woods. I've been shot at from close range like 3 times. I had a guy empty out an entire gun and missed every round. What else? One time I was tagging on Whitmer and 6th Street.
Yeah.
And I heard like a pop. And I was like, what the hell? And then I heard another pop. The second pop, a chunk of brick hit me on the hair, on my head. And there was a sniper aiming at me while I was tagging.
A sniper?
A sniper, man. I don't know, there was a lot of apartment complexes. So it was coming out of one of those windows. Man, I got out of there like a bat out of hell, man.
Wow.
It was crazy. I had that, and then what else? Man, I've had some pretty close calls. I got chased by one time. I came out of a 7-Eleven with Snowboy Risco, and Solo One, Roberto Carlos Chino, one of my best friends. I love that guy. He's OG too. And we came out of 7-Eleven, and some guy comes up to us, and he puts a knife on my throat. and he tells me to hand over the 24 pack. And I was like, oh man. So I just handed it to him. And then my buddy Cheech, I don't know if it was Cheech or Ziggy, came by in a bug, and Snowboy Risco dives in through the window of the bug because the door was open.
Yeah.
He dives in there, and they take off. So they leave me and Solo One Chino by ourselves. And then this guy whistles. I'm not exaggerating, man. It must have been about 15 guys, maybe 20, came out of nowhere. And man, we just hit the pavement. These guys chased us for blocks and blocks. And somehow we got away, man. There was a small wall. We jumped over the wall. My friend Robert got his pants stuck on the fence, and he couldn't get off the fence.
Oh, wow.
So I had to literally pull him with all my weight off the fence, and his whole pants tore. And seconds before they got there. And they would have caught us. All they had to do was look over the wall like this. We were laying down on the side of the small brick wall. And they were right there having a conversation a few feet from us, telling us how they were going to get us and which way we went. And I was listening to the whole thing.
Damn.
Wow, man.
That's some very suspense.
Another time, a guy chased me. He wouldn't stop, man. He just kept coming after me. This was unreal. I get to the White House. Thank God the door was open. Turn the door, open the door. I run down the hallway. He comes in my house. He's running down the hallway. I pass the bedroom, then I pass the living room. He's still on my tail. I get into the kitchen. He's still behind me. So I knew that I had a BB gun in the laundry room in the back. So I went all the way to the laundry room in the back, grabbed the BB gun, turned around, pointed at him. He doesn't know it's a BB gun.
Yeah.
Dude, you should have seen his face. I ran after him. We were going so fast that I couldn't run and pump at the same time because I wanted to pump it and shoot him in the back.
Yeah.
But I said, I'll just scare him. So I just chased him all the way out, and he took off. So, man, if it wasn't for that BB gun, I don't know what would have happened. We probably would have had a scuffle.
So it's been very close, huh?
Pretty close, yeah. So that was another incident.
Let me get into this, brother.
Sure.
You had mentioned to me early on that you're among, I believe, the last one standing of the very first squad of the people that painted.
I'm the only one living from the first 5 guys that went tagging everywhere.
Okay. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, well, we had Mr. 151. He wasn't even into that. He was a rocker.
Okay.
And a guy that used to like to drink. That's why he named himself Mr. 151 after the hard liquor.
Okay.
So he would write like I don't know. I mean, he would just write his name. There was no style to it. But he was everywhere. And then, like I said, my Colombian friend came. And so then me and Gio, Rick's buddy, he started tagging, and I started tagging at the same time he started tagging. But we started taking buses and going everywhere. I mean, everywhere. And then came Silver. And then he started tagging more than us. And but Gio 1 had me beat on the buses.
Okay.
But on the streets, we were about the same. And then Silver came, and he was everywhere. I mean, and then after Silver came Sign.
Okay.
And then he started tagging everywhere.
Being in the Rockwood area was being part of...
All of them died. I mean, they've all died. Yeah.
May they all rest in peace.
Yeah.
Being in the Rockwood area, brother... Was it ever a plan of yours to be from K2S?
Being in Rock, I thought about it. If I would have hanged her, I would hang out with them once in a while. Skep, Rick, one of them. I wanted to have my own thing.
Okay.
All my life, my brother and I, we've always had our own thing.
Gotcha.
at the White House.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to start joining crews, and I mean, these guys start making rules, and I don't know. I mean, I could have. It crossed my mind. I could have hanged around, and because I used to hang around with Risco a lot. Me and him used to. We would hang out, Geo1, all those guys. But I was like, you know what? I got Presto, because Presto was amazing.
Gotcha.
He was good. So that's all I needed. And I was getting better at what I was doing, and we just needed to recruit a few people, and that's it. You got your own crew. You decide where you're going to go, what you're going to do, who's going to do what. I can live with that. I was doing that at the White House.
Gotcha, 100%.
And then I would hang out with Rockwood once in a while because those guys got into too much trouble.
Yeah.
So I kind of I knew how to use my time wisely, check in with them when they had meetings or stuff like that, and then kind of keep my distance. You didn't want to hang out with those guys too much because you were either going to end up shot or something.
How was the neighborhood itself, the barrio, taking it, seeing you guys do this graffiti stuff?
Yeah, no, they were cool. We had a lot of guys. I mean, Rockwood had a lot of guys that went to school, guys that had good jobs.
Yeah.
They were decent guys. There's a lot of legends, man. We had some guy named Rudy. He was an amazing athlete. Danny, Abraham, amazing athletes. Morgan, that guy was that guy was he was like a street legend for numerous reasons. We had... we had Orco, we had Tito, amazing athlete, Tito. Yeah, this guy, we used to call him the Latin Jordan because he was the only Latino in the neighborhood that can slam dunk, and he would school everybody in the court.
Oh.
And his brother was Orco, the famous Air Force One. All from Rockwood.
It ran in the bloodline.
Yeah, they ran in the bloodline, man. I'm telling you, we had a lot of we had a lot of heavy hitters. Some guy named Teddy.
Okay.
That guy had an amazing arm, He had a cannon.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Shout out to the whole Rockwood, by the way.
Yeah.
Couple questions more I got before we get out of here. One being, is there anything that you would change? If you could change anything in the graffiti world, whether it's past or present, what would it be?
If I could change anything in the graffiti world, the tag banging, I wish that never would have happened. I wish a lot of these guys that bomb and tag, I wish they picked their spots more wisely.
Okay.
There's certain areas where it's kind of they just, graffiti just doesn't seem to, I mean, I don't know.
Got you 100%.
Yeah. I mean, you got to choose your spots wisely. And also, a lot of these guys that come out on Instagram and then they're putting other writers down. I also don't think that's cool. You were there before social media was a thing in the graffiti world, right? Which was a better time.
Do you think it was better without social media?
Don't get me wrong. Social media has its
perks.
It's perks, dude. But, I like it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it's around. But I'm just glad that I was part of both worlds.
Okay.
It sucks to know my nephews and nieces and shout out to Sebastian and Camila, the love of my life.
Shout out to both of them.
My nephew and my niece. I love them to death. So, them, they're going to grow up. They're never going to know that world even existed. And all these kids that are growing up right now, they have no idea what it was like. And, man, it was something special. I mean, it was something special.
What can you say to any kid out there that will listen to this and is trying to enter the graffiti world and he heard your episode and he feels inspired?
Anything you do, if you do it, a lot of practice, number one. Number one, first of all, you have to believe in yourself, always. Number two, practice. Number three, conduct yourself properly. A lot of these guys, they have talent, but the way they carry themselves, the way they speak in public, the way they dress, very vulgar. That's not going to get you too far.
Gotcha.
It's just not. You could say, just be yourself and blah, blah, blah. It's okay. But really, it's not.
100%.
You're never going to land a decent job. People are not going to want to have you around. They're, 99% of people are not going to tell you. They're not.
Okay.
Because that's something you should just know. So no one's going to correct you and tell you that you're acting like a fool.
Yeah.
I've seen guys, the way they talk to their girlfriends in public, the way they don't respect older people. In our day, you couldn't speak to older people a certain way.
It's I agree, and it's definitely a whole different time in 2025.
And men nowadays, honestly, don't know how to treat women. That's another thing I've been seeing.
When everything is said and done,
you can't treat a woman like a guy.
100%.
Just because they want equal rights doesn't mean you got to treat them like a dude.
Gotcha.
Come on.
100%.
Some of these guys are like school in the summer. They got no class.
When everything is said and done for, brother, what do you want the graffiti world, to remember Blast 69 for?
That I always put my friends first.
Okay.
I always put my family first. At the White House, I always make sure everybody was okay, taken care of. Whenever there was a fight or something, I always took the initiative, let me handle it. I was very protective of my friends. Loyalty has always been very big with me. Be there for your friends and your family. That's very important. I don't like putting anybody down. One thing about us at the White House is we like to motivate people.
Okay.
My brother, Ed, Marcos, my son, we all have that in common, that we try to make people love themselves more. We remind people of how important they are.
Gotcha.
And we do that every day.
It is important.
Every day I remind people that I'm with how important they are and how important they are to me.
Yeah.
And how I just, people need to hear it. I'm going to tell you, there's not too many people that go around giving compliments.
No, there isn't.
There isn't. They're ready to critique, but so when somebody gives you a compliment, especially somebody that's really cool, and they make your day.
Yeah.
We really do. And that's what I try to do every day. There's not a day that goes by that I don't go out of my way. I don't care if you're homeless. I'm going to make you feel good. I don't care if you're freaking selling something in a street corner. I'm going to treat you just the way I treated, the rich guy I was hanging out with the day before. I don't go around using status like, this guy's more important than this guy.
I see what you're saying.
I just,
It's important, man, and I applaud you for that, because it's definitely important to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
2 questions that I got before we get out of here, brother. 2 last questions.
Sure.
One being, in the early stages of you guys getting together to paint graffiti, how were you obtaining your utensils to paint?
We were racking. Racking was a big thing.
And this is Krylon, Rust-Oleum?
Krylon mostly, both.
Okay.
Both, but mostly Krylon.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there was a store across the street, the Beverly Center.
Yeah.
Right on the corner. I think it was started with an R. Rolex. I forgot the name of the place. That was one of my favorite spots.
Gotcha.
I never got popped right there. Yeah, but I got popped once, and then I stopped.
Racking.
Yeah, but that's the kind of guy I am. I do something until there's either a red flag or I got caught. And then I never, any time that happens in any aspect of my life, I just stop.
Gotcha.
Because most people are, you know, they should, you know, like, you got caught, dude, don't do it again. Just don't do it again.
Learn from your mistake.
Yes, and usually the second time around, you're not gonna be as lucky.
Gotcha.
So, you know, so it's not even worth it. So after that, I had other people rack, or I would just buy them.
You know, a lot of elder writers feel like, hey, if you're not painting, I mean, if you're not racking, you're not doing it the right way. But a lot of them kind of don't understand that, like, it's not as easy to rack as it was back then.
No, they're crazy. Nowadays, man, no way. Nowadays, I wouldn't do it. Yeah, I wouldn't do it nowadays because for many reasons. There's cameras everywhere. You don't want somebody to put you on social media and expose you. So there's just, the times have changed. Best thing to do is just figure out, pitch in with your crew, and just, do it the right way. Yeah, it's just, you shouldn't have to do it for status anymore.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
It's a different world we live in.
Yeah, it's more cameras.
Yeah.
It's not as easy.
And somebody can expose you on social media. Hey, look at this guy. Yeah. I mean, it's just, you don't want that. It's a bad look.
And on top of that, now in 2025, in order to obtain these cans to paint graffiti, you have to go to a graffiti shop that's owned by writers.
Exactly. So you would be stealing from your own people.
And it'll be kind of like tough,
Yeah,
it's a tough situation.
It's a tough situation. It sure is.
Last question I got for you, brother. It's my favorite question I got on my show that I like to ask everybody.
Sure.
Favorite tennis shoe of all time to paint in?
Jesus. Wow. That's an interesting question.
What's that one shoe that makes you feel like, oh, I'm going to go get it today?
Okay. I like wearing New Balance.
Okay.
That's just my shoe, my sneaker of choice.
I New Balance, you got to sell them a package, an endorsement. Come on.
Right? Yeah. They feel good. I like the color schemes that they use.
Yeah.
And it has a nice polish look.
Nice.
Like if you wear New Balance with some nice chinos or some nice fitted jeans. You could wear it with a blazer. You could wear it with a t-shirt, a polo shirt, and it gives you that nice clean polish look. So that's why that's my sneaker of choice.
Definitely. Those are dope. I have a pair that I use for the gym. They're comfortable to run in, so I like rocking those.
Yeah.
Again, brother, it was an absolute pleasure to have you here. Thank you for sharing your story with me. Thank you for sitting here and letting us know how it was back then and giving us a better insight.
I had so many crazy stories I wish I could have shared with you, but maybe another time. But, I think we covered a lot.
Definitely. If you guys want a part 2, drop a comment. We'll make it happen. Also, don't forget to grab your ticket to My Style Paint Jam Las Vegas, happening Saturday, September 6th, inside Area 15. It's going to be a dope event that we're hosting here. I Got No Control, live painting, live artist talk, black book session, sticker trading, rap performances, and vendors. So don't miss out. I can't wait to meet you guys there. Make sure to follow Blast69 on Instagram. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.